Hi, everyone. I would like to welcome you to another interview with a virtual assistant who has been through the Become a Virtual Assistant course, but has also been an intern for me in the past. A couple of years ago, Victoria Allison and I worked together. She was in my internship program, and she is going to be sharing her journey as a virtual assistant today. So I will let her get started by telling us just a little bit about herself and how she found the internship and how she discovered becoming a virtual assistant.
All right. So, hello, everybody. So, my name is Victoria Allison. And so, a little bit about my background. It had nothing to do with virtual assisting, really, or the digital world, as I'm sure many of you can relate. I got my degree in theater performance. And so, shortly after graduating from college, I was actually able to teach the theater arts for a little while. So, that was fun. I taught kindergarten all the way through high school and I did art as well. So an art teacher. The long story short, that didn't pan out the way that I thought it was going to. And I found myself in the assisted living, senior living realm, which became my specialty with dementia. And so basically what happened is after I had my second born, I really wanted to stay home. I wanted to work from home and figure out how am I going to make money doing that. And so when I was on my maternity leave, I was scrambling and scrambling to figure it out. And I ended up finding another group. There's another group I think that you're a part of, I'm pretty sure, because everybody seems to be involved with everybody and know everybody.
Yeah, it's kind of a
So,
circle.
yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know. I found Lauren Golden for the Free Mama group. And so she has her free training. So I found that. And then I think through that group, I found you. So I'm pretty sure that's how it happened. And so I was just trying to find any education that I possibly could. And so I had followed these groups for a while and I wasn't able to quit yet and stay at home. And then eventually when my second born was 2 years old, I was able to have the opportunity to stay at home. I made that decision. That's what I was going to do. And that is about the time that I took Alyssa's internship. Yes.
That is
Yeah.
amazing.
Long
Yeah,
story.
I find that everybody's background is very different, and what
Hmm.
leads us here is different. And many times we don't realize, I know I didn't, that what we were actually doing already could influence and impact and help your journey as a VA.
Yes.
So, how was your experience with the internship that we did together?
So it was great because it came at a time where I was freshly doing this full time, you might add. So I really needed guidance. I needed some type of partnership. And so that's what it gave me when I really needed it was something to look forward to. I was able to have access to your courses, which was great. And so it really gave me like a nice, good foundation or solid foundation of frameworks to go by as a virtual assistant. And that's what the internship did for me was it just gave me a good framework and it was a great partnership and friendship, I would like to say, because I if I haven't been able to keep up with you, I still keep up with you through Facebook. So that's wonderful. So I will say that is what the internship gave me was an opportunity to have incoming a stream of revenue coming into. And I learned a little bit about your processes, like with social media and how what your process is with scheduling, which I've carried out into my own. Very helpful.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. What particular part of the course has helped prepare you the most for your current role?
I was like, man, it's been so long ago. I'm trying to think of the
Yeah,
frameworks.
I know. It kind of all blends together too.
I know. So I will say I remember going through one of the lessons and it was preparing us for the questions, like when we have that discovery call, or maybe it's right after that discovery call as well when they've already signed with the client, but you still need that first meeting to get the task that they are needing you to do. So you walked us through those steps of how to have that conversation And so I think it's really important because a lot of the times as virtual assistants, especially if you're beginning, you're waiting almost for that client to tell you what to do. And you actually framed it as we're leading that discussion. And
Yes, absolutely.
we are leading that discussion in what are our steps and what are the tasks that they need us to do. Yeah.
Exactly. Believe that the onboarding process and being
Mhm.
super professional with that and having
Yes.
a plan in place can
Mm.
help you. One, it helps you to secure the client because if you get to the end of the discovery call and they're like, what do we do next? If you don't know what to say, it puts you in a lurch and it also makes you seem unprofessional. And but
Yes.
if you do have a clear process, okay, this is what happens next, it steers them in the right direction and they're more likely to say yes and to work with you.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
that's one of the reasons why I think that is a super important lesson to learn in your processes.
Yes.
So I know it's been a couple of years and that you have made some transitions and done some things. So how do you feel like you've grown the most over those past couple of years?
I had to end up going back because of the money situation, financial situation, which I know that we've all been in. I had to end up going back into the workforce. But what I did do for myself is I said, okay, I'm not just going to go find any job. I'm going to go find the job that I'm passionate about. And so I ended up with Comfort Keepers within home care. But I was able, one, to land that job because of me taking leadership in my virtual assistant role and being able to say, hey, I know how to do marketing strategies because that's something that I got into. I know how to train, I know how to do this and that. And I really carried that experience with me through working with Comfort Keepers. And I always had it in the back of my mind that if I either had another child or I had another opportunity to stay home, that I still really wanted to do that. And so that has just helped me grow. The frameworks that I built on has really helped me to get to where I am today with being confident in the packages, services that I offer that I'm still making up and discovering. Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, I find a lot of
Process out.
people say confidence is something that really they built over time as a result of the internship and the experience that they gained. What
Mhm.
advice then would you give to someone who's just starting out on their journey?
What I would do is don't be worried, don't get bombarded and slow down and say, "Oh, I'm not qualified to do this or that," because that's not true. So what I've learned is even through you, Alyssa, is that you can choose. There's a whole bunch of different things in the VA realm that you can do that you're probably already doing. So whether that's bookkeeping or if you like to write, so blogging or design work, if you use Canva, which is super easy to do anything, you can almost find any little skill and make that into your business for a VA.
Absolutely.
Yes. And so I would say that networking too, if you're just starting out your business, this is something that you're looking into and you say, where do I find my clients? I have found most of my clients by networking, whether it's virtually networking or in person networking, and just being my authentic self and saying, hey, this is what I can do for you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Just showing up, and I always say,
Mhm.
opening your mouth.
Yes.
You have to open your mouth. You're your best promotion of yourself. So, where do you see yourself going in the future? What are some of your professional goals?
So that is a great question because what I actually did was I niched down. So after you're done just doing some of the administrative things as a virtual assistant, which I do highly recommend, it will help you, I think, find your niche because there's a lot that goes into the administrative roles. I see myself as being more of a business consultant and more of an operational specialist. And I did create my services. So I did a service package for senior living or home care. So that way I can go in and I can help their businesses, their processes, their goals, networking, things of that nature. So I'm really hoping to expand on that service and also include facilitating support groups in person and virtual, and then doing training for family caregivers and professional caregivers. So that's where I see myself down the line is being able to
I
grow.
love that. I
Yes.
love how people choose their own niche and take what they've learned and apply it to their particular area of expertise. I think that is great. So what is something, I guess this is to draw things to a close, what is something that you are surprised that you learned about yourself during this process?
So I have always known that I am a creative person. That's how I started off doing this, is just being creative and doing the creative things. But I have found that I'm actually really strategic, and that strategic can actually be creative. And so I have figured out a way to bring that creative process into the strategic role. And that is how I've been able to get the clients that I have. Really surprised me with that.
Yeah, drawing those two things together. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Love that. I thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. When this airs or goes out on YouTube, it will be after the storm. She is in Florida, so she's going to get some wind and things from that. So I hope that all goes well with that and that your family stays safe.
Thank you. Yeah, it's all nice and sunny right here.
Yeah, right now it is, isn't it?
Tomorrow. Thank you for keeping me in your prayers.